Hi drivers, Paul Taylor here from Truckers Justice Center once again. Today I want to talk to you very briefly about what is the worth of a wrongful firing case. We do a lot of wrongful firing cases, retaliation cases under the Surface Transportation Assistance Act, which is a law that essentially says no person may fire or retaliate against a driver because the driver refuses to break a commercial vehicle safety regulation, or secondly, because the driver files a complaint with the government or the employer about violations of commercial vehicle safety regulations. So usually we're ending up with a firing. And usually the driver, if he hasn't been blacklisted on DAC, is out of work about 3 weeks while he's looking for something substantially the same as what he or she had before. And so the driver is out 3 weeks of back pay essentially. Sometimes he's paid a little less at his new job, or he's now going out, staying out 6 weeks instead of being home every 3 on his previous job. But what a case is worth, aside from a settlement value, what a case is worth, aside from the fact it's worth whatever somebody's willing to write a check to the driver and his attorney for. A case is really worth only what your damages are on your best day. Now, we do a lot of these cases, but to really hit the big money, punitive damages, huge mental pain, back pay, those kinds of things, to get them all, sort of like the sun, moon, and stars all have to line up at the same time. Maybe not quite that extreme, but generally a case, what we're looking at is, one, how good is the case? If we go to a trial, are we going to win or are we likely to win? We don't usually make a prediction, we're going to win. But are we likely to win based upon the evidence we have? 2, on the driver's best day, what's he looking at for back pay? If you're making $1,000 a week and you're out of work 3 weeks and you're making more now, well, your back pay claim is $3,000 less taxes. And third, what is the worth of the mental pain damages, which you can get under these types of cases? What is it worth? Well, if your big mental pain comes when you lose your home, lose your wife, contemplate suicide, huge debt, file bankruptcy caused by the firing. You don't get mental pain caused by breaking the law or the carrier dispatching you on crappy equipment, but you can get it from stemming from the firing or the retaliation. So absent, a long period of unemployment, financial trouble caused by the firing, perhaps seeing a psychiatrist because you have mental pain and treatment of it, mental pain is not worth a whole heck of a lot. So if you're out 3 weeks of back pay, the mental pain claim is going to be pretty minimal. The third element is punitive damages. Understand that judges don't usually grant punitive damages. What they do is when the case is, a huge carrier has fired you. 2, their understanding of your refusal to break a DOT safety violation is obvious, like it's a serious violation, audible air leak, an out of service type item, and the court would have to find that the firing is egregious. Now, most people come to us think their firing is egregious, but that isn't necessarily so. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe the carrier is asking the driver to drive without one marker light, with one marker light out for 3 miles to get it fixed. That's not an egregious firing, but your activity is protected. Your refusal to drive in violation of any regulation, even to drive a foot, doesn't have to be an out of service violation, is protected. So a case is essentially worth weighing the likelihood of recovery. 2, what is your back pay? 3, how long were you unemployed for? So short period of time, probably not much in mental pain. The longer it is, the more it's worth. So the case is always worth at least what your back pay claim is, assuming you have a reasonable probability of winning. So this doesn't actually clarify for you what your claim that you might have today is worth, but it's the factors that we consider. And finally, most important of all, is the defendant or the trucking company able to pay should we win? So if this is a 2-truck operator and 2 can carry, owned by somebody with no money, your case is probably worth no money. But more significantly, the longer you've been out of work, the case is worth more, but of course you don't need to be out of work. So always important to look for a job. So I hope this clarifies things just a little bit for you. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.